10 years ago, Mark Bradford worked in his mother's beauty salon in Los Angeles and looked through those windows and observed the neighborhood around him. Today, Mark Bradford is a successful, prestigious contemporary artist who still uses the neighborhoods as his works of art. The Mark Bradford exhibition at the Museum of Contemporary Art features over 35 works of art. It highlights how his style has evolved throughout his career. I was very appreciative to have Angelique Power, the Director of Communications and Community Engagement, as my guide through the exhibit. We began at the beginning of Mark's career, which featured his creations made with end papers, the kind that are used in beauty salons.
It's actually called Enter and Exit the New Negro. With Mark's work, there are so many layers and ways you can experience his work.
From the titles of the pieces to the work themselves, the viewers feel as if they are part of the conversation of the exhibit and Mark's social commentary, and not just an observer.
Mark is always in dialogue with different people. I feel like whenever I walk through the galleries and I see his work, I'm in conversation with Mark.
From end papers, Mark began creating with merchant posters. The posters you see hanging from street posts are plastered on sides of buildings.
What he does is he goes around and he collects them like an archaeologist, and then he brings them back to his studio and he creates these huge abstract images, not using paint, but using the merchant posters themselves, really to bring our history of urban life into the galleries and into the museum.
The piece that really impressed me was a video of a young man named Marvin. Mark would watch him strutting past his studio every day around 3 in the afternoon.
What strikes him is that being this sort of openly gay black male, walking through these rough streets of LA, he owns himself. He owns his body, he owns his sexuality.
We left the merchant poster art and walked into Mark's tribute to the flood in New Orleans and the lower Ninth Ward. He built a life-sized ark called Mithra. Half of the ark is a part of the exhibit. We are brought into Mark Bradford's recent abstract work on media using newsprint templates as their base. It is quite different from his obvious social commentary work.
I see that what he's doing now is actually braver than the other work because it's much more subtle and it demands more of the visitor to really connect and understand. That's Mark. It's like as soon as you put your finger on what he's doing, he evolves away from you.
The Mark Bradford exhibit runs through September 18th. The museum also offers free tours every day, open late, and is free on Tuesdays with a farmer's market and an outdoor jazz concert with local jazz musicians in the evening.
The Museum of Contemporary Art is a microcosm of Chicago. It offers you sort of the best of what we offer in the city every day.